This is Fob and Friends. 5 friends, 5 perspectives, all fun. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode, everyone. My name is Zane. Don't ask why, just put an I. And with me this week is Amina and a very, very, very special guest that we have. His name is Horace. How's it going, Horace?
Hey, Zane.
Hey.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So
Yeah, we have Horace with us, special guest. He's wanted to be on this podcast for a while, and I'm glad and I'm happy that he's finally on this. He's probably one of our only fans out there.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've known Horace since he was a little one.
Yeah. So yeah, let's explain the connection we have with Horace. Horace is a long time family friend of ours for both of us. We both known Horace for like ages at this point.
His mom is BFFs with my mom.
Yeah. My mom has a woman crush on
like,
your mom.
My mom is not a man, so not a man crush. And it would be just a normal crush if my mom was a man.
True.
No, they've been friends for years and years, and so I've known Horace since he was a wee one.
Yeah, we used to get into a lot of we used to play a lot as a little kids. We were just doing our own little weird stuff.
Yeah, of course.
All those hide and seeks and tags that we played. Hide and seeks.
Yeah. No, I've been a fob and a friend of you guys for a minute. I'm sorry, that was lame.
Are you
actually very clever? I like it.
Okay, so here's the thing. My siblings are gonna like this if and when they hear this. My hair is like the longest it's ever been now, and I look like a '90s like Salman Khan. And it's like it doesn't even look that cool. I literally just look like a hardcore fob, but I'm digging it. You know, I'm at that age where it's like, oh, I'm connecting with my roots. When really, I just look like a fob.
That Pakistani band. Oh my god, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The 2 guy singers.
Man, not at all.
You look like one of them.
2 guy singers.
I'm gonna figure this out because they're very. Once I say their name, you're gonna be like, "Oh, them."
While you look
lost.
While you look that up, Amna, Horace, talk a little bit about yourself. Who are you, and why are you on this podcast?
I'm on this podcast, Zane, because you wrote me a very generous check.
Oh yeah. You know, we can't disclose numbers, but it's in the high thousands, obviously.
Yeah.
Cents,
thousands of cents.
Thousands of cents, thousands of prayers.
Yeah, lots and lots of duas.
Yeah, lots of duas.
So, it is finals week, so I'm gonna need you guys to send lots and lots of duas. Anyway, that said, I am
He's doing this podcast during finals week, and our own Fob and Friends
can't make it because she needs to go eat food outside.
No, I am. I'm a junior at Hunter College, which is in Manhattan. I'm studying journalism, and I work in film. And I guess a fun fact: I haven't matched my socks in about 7 years.
Wow.
Is there a reason, or you just don't care anymore?
2 reasons. One is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who doesn't do it, and the second was in 2012, which is actually 5 years ago. So that just solidified it more. Was Andrew Garfield wore them in The Amazing Spider-Man? He wore mismatched socks.
So you're just trying to like create a swagger.
No, it's not. I wouldn't even say a swagger. I think I'm just so uncomfortable with myself that I need to be other people, preferably lanky white guys. No, that's not true. No, I just admire those guys a lot.
If that's how you need to see yourself, if that's your identity, Horace, it's okay.
That's okay. Listen, that's what we're talking about this week. We're going to talk about our identities, okay?
I found out the band Nuri. Right?
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't remember who they look like.
Oh my god! I'm gonna post a picture of Nuri so that you guys know who I'm talking about. This is like Pakistani band royalty. '90s rock.
Hey, Haris, you should probably like disguise yourself as Nuri, and you could probably just be famous.
Yeah, for sure.
Might as
Except
well.
he's young and they're old now.
And I'm not musically gifted at all.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, all Pakistani singers are they're all hacks.
Are what? Wait, what? What?
No, just joking. I'm just joking. No, I should say like a lot of them are good. A lot of them are nice. There's a few out there that just
That's everyone. That's not just Pakistan.
No, I know.
Like, why are you calling out Pakistan?
Do I know any Pakistani singers? Like,
what do you mean? Do you know any Pakistani singers? You def do.
I don't.
You're Nuri.
Oh right,
No,
true.
No, not that.
I guess not. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm just more fobby than both of you.
Yeah.
I was lost when he said Nuri. So
You don't know who Nuri? You don't even. It's not even familiar.
No. Like the name of the band sounds familiar. I don't know anything about them though. After that,
I'm going to be very honest, guys. I look very fobby, but I'm whitewashed. It's kind of the worst of both worlds.
Okay, well then we're gonna go into it. Why? Because we're talking about identity.
Well, before we talk about identities, I have a couple of things that I wanted to share you guys. Kind of I figured you'd find these a little bit interesting. I just wanted to I found these articles, or there was a couple articles. There one that I thought would be pretty funny to talk about, just a tiny bit. So there was this woman. Her name was Amanda Liberty, right? And she's from England. She somehow, for some reason, thinks that she is I shouldn't say she thinks, but like she is in love with chandeliers,
Oh, yeah.
And she's so in love with chandeliers to the point where she actually married one.
Wow.
And she has two married chandeliers, to be exact. Sorry, one that stays in the living room and accompanies her during the day. And then she has, and that one is funny because it's like an ornate, like really large, like beautiful looking chandelier. And then she has a bedroom version of a chandelier, and she sleeps with it every single day. She supposedly, she does a lot of kisses and cuddles. Let's just say with that chandelier.
In both senses of the word, I suppose.
Not comfortable.
It's kind of, it was just so weird. And like I just thought, it was just so strange that she had two. But that's not just like those two. Obviously, she has a bunch of like collections, but like she went out of her way to buy this one from Germany that was like the ornate one that I was talking about in the living room, and it's like cost her like, I don't know, $500 to $1,000 or something ridiculous like that. But it was just like, yeah, the moment I saw it, I was in love, and I just knew that I had to get married to it, and it was just like, all right, yeah. And then it was also kind of funny is that she's really open about it, and she's trying to get like rights for the chandeliers. She's just like she's like there's no way, you can't tell me, like she's talking to the haters, being like, oh, all the haters are like, oh, why are you doing this? Well, this is kind of stupid. She's like, oh, I want rights, and the chandelier actually proposed to me, so it has feelings too. And it's just like, oh boy.
Okay, see, now it's just, I was so for this, and now she's, now I'm just concerned. Initially, it sounded like, if you want to marry a chandelier, go and marry a chandelier, because it's not imposing an obligation upon anyone else. But now apparently, like,
she went far, and she went far with it. And like there's like photos on this online where she when the chandelier proposed to her, the ring was dangling off a little like hook.
Wow.
And she was just like, oh, thank you. And and then I forgot the funniest thing. She had an on again, off again relationship with the Statue of Liberty, and she nicknamed the Statue of Liberty Libby. And she was dating the Statue of Liberty for like X amount of months or X amount of years, whatever.
And does she still live in England?
I think she does, yeah.
Okay, so it was a long distance relationship.
Actually that's funny, because that was the reason why she broke up with the Statue of Liberty. It was
okay. That happens. It's like, and I don't know that the Statue of Liberty can really FaceTime or anything.
No, not at all.
It doesn't really work out.
She she was quoted saying that she's only visited the Statue of Liberty 6 times when they were dating, so that's why she broke it off with this Libby, and then she went to the Chandelier, and I don't even know if the Chandelier has a name, but oh no, sorry, no, I'm looking it up right now. There is a name. The name is Lumiere.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Lumiere. Is that what does
Beauty
that
and the Beast.
mean?
Lumiere.
Oh, is that
Beauty and the Beast is a candlestick, right?
Can you spell that?
It's L-E. Hold on.
No,
Lumiere.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. So that's like French.
Really, Horace? You're a film major, but you don't know like a Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast?
No, I mean, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, first of all, I'm a journalism major, and
you work in film, but really?
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh man, I can give you guys a list of the movies I haven't seen, and it would be very surprising that I do film.
You should
things.
be ashamed slightly. I mean, it is like a childhood classic.
I have seen Beauty and the Beast, but I was just far too young to remember anything significant from it.
Okay, well, he's
insignificant.
He's the candlestick who sings "Be a Guest."
Oh, okay, him, the candlestick. I know him. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Do you actually? Because I feel like both of you are the type of people who'd be like, "Oh yeah," when you don't know.
No. I totally know the candlestick. But
I feel really old.
I've seen him around. I've seen him around at like after parties, but not like I don't know him. Like we're not friends.
Oh, you're not. You're just acquaintances.
Yeah, the Beast. I actually I know him. That's my brother. Oh snap!
Wow, we're getting into some deep places here. We don't have to talk about this anymore. Like if it's too much.
No, we're good.
Listen, we'll cut this all out if you need to. We'll be fine.
Great.
Well,
I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Regarding the chandelier lady.
The chandelier woman.
Amanda Liberty is somebody who can do whatever she wants, like anybody else, because it doesn't really harm anyone else. So, like, if you want to marry a chandelier, marry a chandelier. Like,
that's true. Yeah. All right. That was my like consensus with it too. It's like, hey, why is everyone worked up about this? And there was so many hate comments. Obviously, with the internet's being the internet. It was like so many hate comments towards her, and it's just like let her do her thing. Like,
it's deviant behavior. Like, and so
it is strange.
People get uncomfortable with deviance. They're like, "Oh, this is weird," and so when they get uncomfortable, people start spewing, not very nice things. Like, you're right. It is what it is. She, this is her life. This is how she views it. It's her perspective. She wants a chandelier as a mate. That's her mate. They mated.
True. What would the child of a chandelier and a human look like?
It's fabulous.
Probably that candle from Beauty and the Beast.
You guys know. It has nothing to do with the chandelier.
Or like just a very, glassy looking person. Somebody very transparent, like kind of like the Silver Surfer, but very transparent.
I can see that.
What about
maybe like a cross between the Silver Surfer and
and the candlestick,
or just a lighting fixture, because that's what a chandelier is.
Oh no! Wait! It's the Pixar lamp.
No.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my god.
There you go. or it could just be a neon sign of like of a person like flexing.
True.
What you see from like old Las Vegas. This probably just looks like that.
Right.
Yeah, okay. It's a sequin. All right.
Anyway, yeah. Let's move on.
What's the next article? Let's bring it up.
Okay, no, this is just I figured, since we're all Game of Thrones, or Horace, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
I have not seen a single episode.
Oh boy.
All
right. Well, I just wanted to bring up that I just thought it was kind of funny that the actor Stephen Delaney, or I guess that's how you say his last name, the guy who plays not Robert Baratheon, his brother, Stannis Baratheon, right? He plays Stannis Baratheon.
Yeah.
And he went on record saying that he had no idea what he was doing when he was recording all of his scenes, and like throughout the entire series. He was like, I had no idea, and he was never really a Game of Thrones fan. I don't even think he ever like did his homework before that too, but like he played it off so perfectly, I guess. But like,
Stannis just seemed bored the entire show, so it made sense. Like
he was like, yeah, he had regrets. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I just like he had to figure out his character on the day of the shoot, basically. And he was like, okay, I guess this is what I have to do, and he just did it. And I guess it just kind of worked out in the end of the day. But still, I just thought it was kind of funny. But
I feel bad because Horace does not watch Game of Thrones, so you don't know who Stannis Baratheon is.
It's still a funny anecdote. Yeah, I liked it.
Like, you're dead though. You're dead. Sorry, spoilers for people who haven't. Sorry, Horace, you haven't seen it, but Stannis Baratheon is dead. So,
oh man,
if you ever wanted to, now you'll know going in. You're like, man.
You're gonna watch it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that guy's gonna be dying." So.
I only know of what's his name?
Jon Snow.
No. I can't. Jason Momoa.
Oh, Hottie McHot. Khal Drogo.
Yes. You know what? I will not even act like that you said something strange. Like, he is a very attractive man.
It's not strange. It's just a fact. Like,
no, I mean, I was gonna be like, yeah, no. He's just like impeccable, and I wish I looked like that.
I wish I was 10% his look.
Right?
And you're not even 0.1%.
I only know him. I only know him because I remember like he was cast as Aquaman, and then when I found that out, I think like that was the last time I ever cared about superhero movies like that. It's funny actually. It's coming full circle because I saw Justice League last week and I fell asleep during. So basically, there's the climax. Can I spoil Justice League, or is that too recent?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I don't care to see it.
I don't care for it either. You can. It's fine.
All right. So I mean, basically, like when Superman comes back, that was just obvious. I predicted that, as did a lot of people who were interested in the movie. And as soon as that happened, I fell asleep. The big, superhero fight happens, and then I woke up during the post-credit scene.
Wow.
So yeah, it was.
So it was that uneventful.
I predicted it. It was literally like, Superman's gonna come back, something big is gonna happen, and they're gonna win. And I called it. I didn't even have to, really watch about 70% of it.
Wow. Because, I mean, I know that, like, I wanted to see the movie, but in the same time, because of all the bad press it got and just seeing I was just like, I'm not interested in this.
Superhero movies I'm more excited for Phantom Thread than I am for Infinity War at this point. It's Daniel Day-Lewis's last time acting, and it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who I love a lot. He did Magnolia and Inherent Vice, The Master, Punch Drunk Love.
I mean, I have an appreciation for that as well. Like, I would love to see that, but I am excited for Infinity Wars. This is like, for me, it's more nostalgic than the actual assessment of the film in itself. Like, I grew up watching these movies and reading these comics.
Same.
So when they're all coming together, and a lot of them for their last films, a whole like genre, like people like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, like the Hulk, they're all gone after this. So I'm gonna watch it.
You think so?
No, I know so. Their contracts are up. They're done.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought just Iron Man was gonna die or something. I really hope Spider-Man dies, but that probably won't happen.
No, they're gonna keep him. He's the new generation of the superheroes are gonna do, but. Like, the old generation, what everything led up to the Avengers, basically, they're all going. So they're all done with their contracts. Yeah. So I'm definitely I'm excited for that, but I'm the most excited for Star Wars.
It's coming this Friday. So it is, we're recording on a Tuesday. It is in 4 days. So.
I know.
Oh boy, it's going to be pretty good.
I'm just saying this because I'm very excited to hear your reactions. I haven't seen a single Star Wars.
Oh my lord! Jeez, how did you live in life without seeing a single movie?
See, my excuse for that with most Americans is I'll be like, oh, you guys understand. I was raised on Bollywood movies. I wasn't shown Jaws or Star Wars or any of that. Damn. But, you guys were also likely raised on Bollywood as well, so I don't really have an excuse.
I mean, so, sure, I can see that, like, fine. What Star Wars is definitely not, like, the typical Desi mom isn't like, let's watch Star Wars, but it's because of my dad, and that's why our whole family got into it. Like, my dad was a huge Star Wars nerd, like, loved it. It was the first movie he brought my mom to when she came to this country, was Star Wars. Like,
that's incredible.
She thought they were gonna go watch like some romantic film, like Newlyweds, and he takes me to Star Wars. So like,
what a G.
I know. My dad was like, "I'm giving an F."
Listen, I'm really happy you're here, but we're gonna watch Star Wars.
But it's opening weekend for Star Wars. Can we just rush over there, please? Like,
So that basically set the tone for the entire family, and so now we're all huge Star Wars fans, and it holds like we love it, and then it also holds like a special place on top of it. So I understand though.
But you should honestly get your butt moving, Horace, and start watching those
I
movies.
really should. Yeah.
Watch the original trilogy first.
No. My brother-in-law is also a huge Star Wars nerd. My niece's name is Leia. Oh wait, speaking of which, today is Noah's birthday. He turned 5 today. He's Leia's older brother.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, he was born on 12/12/12.
Oh.
Yeah. He's very special and important.
Fancy.
But yeah, he turned 5 today, and I love him lots, and I hope he has a great birthday, even though he's going to bed like right now. Anyway, Star Wars needs to be a thing that I watch.
You need to embrace it and understand it and love it.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't interest you, then don't go for it because you're not gonna like it. Like, if you don't like sci-fi, then there's no point. Like, I just would. This is like the beginning of the sci-fi trope. And I'm not, Star Trek obviously as well, but, films, like, cinematically, like, this was the beginning, really, of that. So, but if you're not into it, then you're not into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, I'm definitely into sci-fi, I feel. I mean, is Back to the Future more sci-fi or fantasy? I feel as though it's like...
It's not like...
Right, I feel as though it's not. I mean,
it's more like adventure, fantasy.
Star Wars
adventure.
Star Wars, I think, is like much more, from what I understand, is like a much more intellectual sci-fi, and
not really. I don't think so.
I think so. I
thought they were like,
way? What do you mean by intellectual?
It's for children.
Well, Back to the Future is a fun adventure movie in which you watch this high school student try not to marry his mom or something. And with Star Wars, I thought that there was some sort of, allusion to the Nazi regime and all that.
Well, yes. I mean,
I thought there was more of a political commentary.
There definitely is, but the basis of the Star Wars film is that it was a children's film. It's for kids, right? I mean, it's for kids from the 70s, late 70s, so it's a...
We're really now it's for adults.
Well, now it's 100%. Like, no kid. Yeah. But kids love it. Like, yeah, they love the new Star Wars. Like, they're like, oh, BB-8. Like, kids really love it. So that's like the intended audience. Whether that's what happened, that's different, right?
Right.
But a lot of those people who are like big Star Wars nerds were kids when they first watched it, and they're like, oh my god, this is amazing. So there it is. But we're 23 minutes in, so I want to start getting into our topic.
True.
Okay, so we are talking about identity. We said this like 10 times, but we're talking about identity today and what our identity is, being Pakistani Americans living where we do. Horace grew up in New York.
Right.
I grew up in Connecticut. Zan grew up in Mass. So we're all New England tri-staters. And this came up because I was telling them earlier before the podcast started, I was on Facebook, of course, and I saw an article, and I saw some girl that I know post this article and in rallying support, basically saying that this movie, The Big Sick, like Kumail Nanjiani's film, is very disrespectful and not well done in terms of how they depict South Asian women and our culture.
Right.
And I was on the fence about it because in some ways I'm like, yeah, well, this is his story, right? And in a lot of ways I grew up and there are a lot of things I joke about with my culture. And then in other ways, I'm like, nah, they have a point though. Like, I'm a Desi girl and I don't act like that. So I wanted to talk about how we grew up, how we see ourselves, and in reference to something like this coming out and how it affects us now, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I actually.
Zan hasn't seen it though, The Big Sick.
I have never seen the movie.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was the one thing
Where
we're
have
also
you
talking
been?
about. Yeah. So this is my Star Wars, where I have not seen this movie, and I honestly haven't even heard of the movie until Amna brought it up literally last week to me.
Yeah. This indie Sundance film
Yeah.
is your Star Wars.
Yeah,
Harsh, you want to tell them what it's about?
Yeah, so
Fill me in.
basically, well, this is a true story. It was written by the couple it is based on, Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gardner. She's, I think Emily. No. Emily Gardner is her name in the movie. It's by Emily Gordon. Okay, regardless, yeah, Kumail Nanjiani is a stand-up comedian. He meets this white girl. Why did I say white like that? As if it's a bad thing. He meets a white girl named Emily. They hit it off, and like I suppose any Eastern household, when you have a significant other that you don't intend on marrying, or you're not sure about marrying, it's a secret. His mom wants to set him up on all these arranged marriages, and he doesn't hit it off with any of them. And he continues to see Emily, and havoc wreaks. And also, Emily becomes sick. Like very, very sick, and you got to watch the movie to find out what happens.
I mean, they're married in real life, so spoiler.
Yeah.
It works.
It works
Yeah.
out.
But
Okay.
yeah, I totally do think that the portrayal of South Asian women in that movie was super insensitive. I think it just made like every Desi girl that was Kumail's potential, arranged marriage, was desperate or dumb or just lame.
Or like very fobby, like very.
Yeah, exactly.
Like comically fobby? Or
Yes, yes.
like a caricature almost. I'm trying to. Yeah, I guess Bobby. Yeah, that first girl that came through.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like,
was
or
pretty
like
Bobby.
either that, or like just like straight up weird. But
Yeah,
and there are plenty of Desi girls that are just normal Desi girls
yeah, that's very true.
that are
So, like, so
What's
because
up?
I haven't seen, no, I was gonna say because I haven't seen the movie. Can you like give me one example of like how fobby one of these girls were? Just like what were they doing that was so like outrageous?
Well, here's the thing. Like, Kumail is from Pakistan, and he does have a Pakistani accent that's very subtle at this point because he's been in the country for so long and he's a professional entertainer. But this one girl comes through and she talks like this, and she knows that Kumail likes the X-Files, so she comes and makes a dumb joke about the X-Files.
Yeah.
So there were just like weirdos in it. That first girl was a weirdo, and it was funny. It was like I thought it was hilarious, at the expense of brown women.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Like, it's funny, but it's also like, let's be honest here. Is that really what he got? Like, is that really the girls, or he's just oversimplifying it? Like, because there are plenty of really smart, like, he comes from a well-to-do family, if I'm not wrong. Like, they weren't, they're probably like middle class, higher middle class family, like upper middle class. So they're not getting like Bandu girls that are coming in. They're getting other middle class girls who are, a lot of them are studying, a lot of them are in school. Like, they're not, I just don't understand why. And I guess he did it as a joke, right? He did it so that, that's what he saw. I don't know, like, if that's what his perception
beyond
was.
that, the notion of arranged marriages is
So warped.
so criticized in the movie. It's like, I mean, my parents didn't have an arranged marriage. I don't think I mean, I'm sure I know an uncle or auntie that had an arranged marriage, but Aziz Ansari talks about this too. People who have arranged marriages actually have a higher chance of staying married as opposed to, a quote unquote love marriage. And there are pressures with an arranged marriage, like, you'll bring shame upon your family if you get divorced, and you won't have any resources outside of your marriage. But still, I think that, to be so obnoxious about, arranged marriages, as if like, look at this, ancient ritual that my parents want to do, isn't like funny. It's really weird. I like, for example, my sister, I don't know if I'm allowed to put this number out, but like, she had a plethora of arranged marriages come through, or potential arranged marriages come through. And well, like, I think a lot of those guys were losers or something, but I don't really know where I'm going with this. But
well,
yeah,
I'll jump in.
I hated that arranged marriages were so,
yeah,
caricaturized.
I think a big thing to say, like, for people listening, like, if you're like, well, yeah, why would you want to marry someone that you barely know and blah blah blah? A lot of what that is now, it's not like that. It's basically like when your friend sent you up on a blind date, right? You don't know this person, but it's your parents doing it. Your parents are setting you up via connections with other parents and setting you up with that person's son to see if you guys mesh. And if you don't mesh, you don't get married to them. But if you do mesh and you talk, and a lot of the times it takes a process of a long time, a year or 2 years, and all of that, you're like, okay, great, let's do this. Let's get married. Let's get engaged. Like, it's not. And I do want to make a point, though, that maybe we're warped in how we see it because we were born and raised in this country. Right. And arranged marriages maybe in Pakistan are a bit more pressured and a bit more, especially for the girl. I think it's...
Yeah, no. Whenever my sister was approached with a rishta, I think, it was always her opinion mattered the most, and no one ever pressured her into doing anything.
Right, and I think that's a lot of girls born and raised in this country. Like, it's not like... An arranged marriage is basically like, yo, do you like this person? And you're like, Ma, no, I'm not into it. And they're like, all right, next.
I don't know. See, I've always like battled internally about like arranged marriages, and I don't even know honestly what I feel about it. Like, part of me thinks that, arranged marriages is just an archaic behavior, and like, it shouldn't, like, it doesn't make any sense to me how two random people, or two opposites of each other, suddenly could just get along and then live happily ever after, like that.
Well, I mean, think about it though. Like, how many people go up to other people in a bar and are like, "Hey, do you want to either get out of here, or like, can I get your number?"
What's the difference between that and Tinder, where you literally swipe right on their looks and not even meet that person?
Yeah, and then
that's true.
You guys decide if you want to, meet up.
It's real life Tinder, except your parents are the ones presenting the guys instead of an app. And then you swipe right or left. You're like, yeah, I'm into it. Let's keep going. Let's see if it works. Or you're like, nah, he's ugly.
Yeah, no, it's just like, he's ugly. No, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know how I feel about it. Because, like I said, one part of me says that, and then part of me is like, oh, no, like, it makes total sense. Like, why wouldn't you want to do at least arranged marriages? Because it's easier, and, like everything you just mentioned right now, like, oh, it's like Tinder in real life. You can just, like, oh, I don't like her. Pass, next one, I get it. Yeah. But it's, I don't know. Like, I can see both sides of the argument. I don't know how I feel, because I don't know. But
I feel like there's like a pressure when you start saying yes. Okay, let me see what you got. I think you think that that's like tacitly you being like, I'm ready to get married now. But yeah, like, something I've come to like see as my life is, as I'm getting older, is that it's not. I think
it's not like that. You mean?
No, you say yes to seeing people, but there's like, if you don't like that person, thankfully we can say no and be like, hey, no, that's it. Who cares if it's awkward? Who cares if they know that you said no? What matters is you're going to get married to whoever this person is, and that's your life. And your life and how that works out is way more important than any awkwardness that ensues. So
true.
It's just a different, like, for someone like me who does not, like Harish, you probably, I don't know if you can agree, but Zan, you too. We don't hang out with a bunch of Desis. We don't have a big group of Desi friends.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, I don't.
And I
don't.
wasn't part of the community. As you know, my mom took me out of the masjid when I was 5. I didn't have a choice here.
Oh, lucky.
Lucky or unlucky, because I didn't have a community around me in which I could have grown up and maybe known some Desis even through passing.
Right, yeah.
So, like, lucky in the sense I didn't have to read Quran every weekend, every Friday. But
that's the worst, man.
But I, like, for me, these, like, one day or whatever, if this is going on in my life, then that's some way for me to, like, meet people that I wouldn't have met. And it's really not easy to, like, go out and meet people.
Right.
It is if you live in the city, like you dweebs, but
no, and also just like in America. I mean, I can only speak on from my experience in America because it's the only country I've experienced it in. But being a Desi here is, and trying to mingle with other Desis at any level is so difficult because you don't know what type of Desi they are. Like, are they cool? Where they like they'll go out and they don't like. I don't drink, but like, is it okay if we go to a bar with my other friends who drink? And are you going to be uncomfortable there? Or it's like, are you a Desi where it's like, if I'm not praying, you're going to scold me and like shove a Quran in my face?
Okay, but
or are you just going to pretend that you're Mexican?
Or that,
I don't think girls can get away with that as easily as guys. You young pubescent brown men who with their gross mustaches.
Yep.
But
gotta rock it.
But no, I was thinking about that. Like, we are sometimes so judgmental, in both ways, right? Because if you are very liberal with how you act, you get very judgy if someone's not. You're like, they don't? Oh, okay, well. Right. And if you are conservative, more so, not even very, just more so, you get judgy if someone is really, really whitewashed. Then you're like, geez, do you not hold any of your culture? Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I'm right in the middle of that, though, because, I'll say Muslim instead of Muslim. I'll say Pakistan instead of Pakistan.
And then they're already like, oh, like if you're really whitewashed, you're like, oh, okay. Like you're not, like, yeah, I get you. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. No, it's all good. But I also like, I don't pray 5 times a day, but I fast for Ramzan. I've always like said that I'm too white for the brown kids and too brown for the white kids.
The way I've said it in the past too to people is like, I'm a coconut where I'm brown on the outside, white in the inside, and like
awesome.
And it, yeah, because it's like I'm the same way, Harris, where it's just like I don't even think. See, I've always perceived myself as more of a 75-25, where 75% of me I feel like is whitewashed and 25% of me is brown, But I've heard from other people that like, oh no, you're what are you talking about? You're just as Desi as I am. And I'm like, and I never felt it. I never felt that I was like, besides obviously Bollywood and besides family and besides.
How's your Urdu?
I don't know. It's hit or miss.
When he's in Pakistan for a while, it gets really good, and then he leaves. Like he hasn't been in Pakistan for a couple of years, so his Urdu's struggling.
That is very true. Like my Urdu in this past February was amazing because I went to Pakistan in February, and now it's just I can't even like.
Stick rest.
Who was I just talking? I was talking to one of our friends, like a mutual friend of ours, Amna. I'll tell you afterwards. I was talking to him. And he was talking to me in Urdu, and I was just like, and I was trying to, talking to Urdu back, but I was like, I just gave up halfway through. I'm like, no, sorry, I'm just gonna speak into you in English. I can't do this.
Right.
It was really bad.
I like that too. My Urdu is like hit or miss. Like I like say a sentence like, perfectly, and then my mom will ask me a question, and I will just not have the response in Urdu. I'll like have to break the facade and be like, Mom, I'm white. I'm sorry.
I love mixing the Urdu and English together. That's my key. I love adding words or adding ings to Urdu words when they shouldn't be adding.
Like, I was bogging. Like instead of
bogging around.
Bog run, and so instead of saying hum bhag rahe the, we say like we were running. We say we were bogging, which is completely mixing two different things. I'm not a big. I don't know the exact what I'm mixing, but No, I it's funny because you said, Horace, I'm picking up on what you said. You said, sorry, mom, I'm white.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, I felt the same way. Like, I went to school and I hung out with all white kids, and I grew up around all white kids, especially in my neighborhood. It's just really white. And
Same.
I
Ditto.
I saw myself. I'm like, I am white, and I did really white things. Like, I did theater. That's pretty white as you can go, right? And I was
I
Right.
like,
did I did marching band. Like,
I was in theater, but I played I was Legally Blonde the musical, and I played Sandeep, so I actually had a Desi accent in it. I was
nice.
a complete sellout. Anyway,
Nice.
oh, we could talk about that too. Anyway, we'll talk about that after, but about my Legally Blonde experience. But um, no, I saw myself as that. I'm white. But the thing is that there was always a disconnect, right?
Right.
You didn't feel right, but you felt white. And I think as I've grown up and I've looked back, the reason is because just because I saw myself as white, no one else saw me as white. And
Right.
I couldn't hide from that. There's no way we can hide from the fact that we're not white, and we could feel as whitewashed as possible. And I think a lot of us overcompensate. We go to
Right.
the extra mile to make white people around us feel comfortable. Oh no, we are American, we are white. But they don't see us as white, and we'll never be white to them. And I
Yeah.
think when I embraced that, which was really recently, it was in the past year or 2 years, where I've really been like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't matter what I do, because no matter what, they'll never see me as that. That I've
Right.
started to go back and embrace my Pakistani side more and learn about
Yeah.
different things about Pakistan and my culture, because, you don't see me as white, fine, but I'm going to see myself as who I am, which is, ethnically I'm Pakistani. It's who I am.
Right. Yeah, I've kind of given up as well on like trying to assimilate. I think since I came to college, like I've never really, even down to like what I smell like. And I live in Harlem. Like I live in an apartment where my mom's not cooking desi food, obviously, because I don't live with her. But like, I'll go to school with like her keema and just like warm it up
Mm,
in one of the newspaper offices, like microwave and just start eating it. And like
delicious.
people would be like, "Oh, what's that smell?" I'd be like, "My mom's cooking. You want some?" Or like I don't like. I stopped caring um, a while ago, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
And I've definitely taken the same stance where I like definitely same thing. I'm gonna just repeat that. Like it wasn't for me in college too, where I just kind of gave up and like just embraced who I am. And it's not even so much just being like, oh, I'm embracing my Daisy side or I'm embracing this side. It's just that what you see is what you get. This is who I am.
Yeah.
I like movies. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I love I love ghetto music. I don't know what. Yeah, I love hip hop, rap. I love everything. But in the
But I
same
also
time,
love Koila.
I also love Koila, and I also love
And yeah,
Hamsa.
Ramon.
Yeah. Or I love like Pakistani weddings. Like I'd love to go to it because it's so much fun, more fun than it is in other weddings. But
Oh, of course. Yeah.
so
I remember my sister's wedding. We invited our white neighbors to it, and at first they were so disheartened and annoyed that there wasn't going to be alcohol there, and then they came to it and they saw how we turn up, and they're like, "Wow, you guys! I can see why you guys don't drink."
You
What-
know what?
Because
I don't want to say the story. I'm going to say it anyway because Summer's not here. She would say it better. But like I remember the whole Summer's wedding, when she invited her coworkers and
Oh my
everything.
God, yeah.
And the very first thing they said was, "Oh my God, so many colors and so much culture." And I'm not trying to make fun of them. It's like I'm saying it in that way in like the Valley Girl accent, but it wasn't like they were obviously they were from here, but it was
Yeah, they're
just
from Greenwich, Connecticut. They're
they're
like,
from Greenwich, Connecticut. But it was just so funny because they're just
That's
like, "Oh my God, there's
hilarious.
so much color. There's so much.
Oh my
there's so much
god, do you know
culture."
that the DJ is like gonna play J Ho?
oh my God, only my friends. A lot of my friends, I feel like they have gotten more woke, God, because of me. And
Oh yeah, of course.
they're like, when they first get to know me, like, oh my God, I love Bollywood, J-Ho, and I'm like, oh, sweetie, I'm gonna teach you. That is just that is a white man's movie. It is not Bollywood. But
I remember having a really long, not even discussion. It was probably like a borderline argument with someone. I don't even know who it was about whether or not what is that movie, Slumdog Millionaire? Was it
Yeah.
whether or not that was
Yeah.
Bollywood or not?
It's
And I'm
not.
like, dude, it's not Bollywood. It's Hollywood. It was made by a Hollywood director.
It won Best Picture.
It won Best Picture. It was done by an American production
Danny
company.
Boyle, am I right?
Well, Danny Boyle's English.
Right.
Oh, well, but you know what I mean. It's like it wasn't Desi at all. Had nothing to do with being Desi at all.
It wasn't in the. It's not even that. It wasn't made in the Bollywood film industry.
No,
but it was scored. It was scored. It was scored by A.R. Rahman.
Right, but that is not.
No, I'm just very happy about that. That's
right,
all.
and he did a great job.
And clearly, like everyone now knows about J-Ho, so it's kind of awesome.
There's this one song on it that on the original soundtrack called "Mosam and Escape," and it's just so good. It's the chase scene where Jamal and Salim, they're like running from those guys who are essentially like manufacturing child beggars.
Yeah.
It was so good. Anyway, Slumdog Millionaire is not a Bollywood movie.
No, and I remember having a long argument with that person. I'm like, no, dude, come on, just let it go.
See, that's like when that stuff hits, right? There's certain cases that I know that'd be like, oh, I don't know, because they don't want to engage.
Yeah, they don't want to have to represent the culture either. I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, and then there's like me or you guys where it like crawls inside of you if you don't say something because you're like, shut up, you white person, you do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's me 100%.
And
it's funny. I've had experiences with both. My there were plenty of there was a white girl in one of my classes, and I think she straight up said, well, people in the East like to beat women. And I looked at I think there was a Muslim girl there and a Muslim guy in that class, and I turned to them, and they just had their heads down, but they were listening, but they just chose not to speak up. And then I spoke to her after class. Class was ending at that moment anyway, but it was it's like people don't want to, and I understand we don't represent the entire East, but I mean, who else is she referring to? She's probably referring to the Middle East and South Asia. And brown people in general. I really hate that. And then also there are the brown kids who won't, and then there are those brown kids that don't speak up, who, I had a friend like that. If I ever tried speaking in Urdu with him in public, as you do with other brown people once in a while, so other people don't hear you, it's like, they'll be like, what? Like, I don't know what you're saying. What do you like? I don't know what you're doing. Stop that.
Or they're like, oh, I don't know what that means. And you're like, are you kidding me? I get so annoyed when I meet Desis who are like, born, raised, they're like, oh, I don't know how to speak Urdu at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Did you guys ever have those white friends in high school that were like, teach us a curse word in Urdu? And then you do, and then they never stop saying it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
What was
No,
that?
because I know I mentioned this in the previous episode of this podcast where I mentioned this one girl that I knew in college who her last name was Chaudhary, but she would say it as Chaudhary, and she was so adamant about that she was raised saying her last name as Chaudhary, and
but you can't even fight that then because that's her parents doing that.
It's her parents' fault. I shouldn't say their fault. I mean, but they had
it's literally them rejecting it for her.
I mean, but then the parents are whack. I know a girl whose last name was Jabari, but she pronounced it as Jabari.
And because her parents taught her that, or because she wanted to? There's a difference. There's I don't know. I've been just.
Why would you do that to your kid though? Like my mom, shoved Islam down my throat, and with it, she shoved down the entire culture too. So I'm gonna just
right. Yeah, we didn't get. Oh, your mom was more religious, Zan, but we didn't get religion shoved down our throat. We were just my dad and my mom are very much look, you can be proud of where you're from. And it's very easy to say you can be proud of where you're from when everyone around you is white and they do not want to learn about who you are.
Yeah.
So, but as you get older, as I've been seeing it's so much easier to be like, yes, this is who I am. And I feel like as I've been getting older, I've been meeting people more and more who are so polarized. It's either they really embrace it and they are who they are, not just being Desi, but as Zan said, just being who they are, and people who are so whitewashed and not that I can't even judge because it's like, look, you are. I guess that's who you are, but it almost seems like it's just they're putting it on like I said, to overcompensate for something, and I don't know.
I think you could judge. I think that you could judge the whitewash kids, the kids who try to be white, especially when you know the families and all that too. It's I'm like thinking of one person in particular who just wanted to be white so bad, and just
it's like, dude, they don't see you as white, so why are you trying?
Exactly. Like they would refer to, like, whenever he and I would walk down the halls, like it would just, they would call us the Brown Brothers or something,
Oh my God.
and he would laugh at that, right? But if anybody ever asked, like, if they would ask him where he's from, be like, oh, somewhere in South Asia. And it's like, just say Pakistan. Yeah.
I that's one thing that I also like. I'm sure you guys have gotten people being like, "Oh, are you guys from India? Or are you guys from that area?" And I always
the worst.
I always correct them.
Pakistan.
No, Pakistan
same
all
thing.
the way. Pakistan all the way. No, yeah, same thing. It's like no, it's not the same thing. I can give you a huge list right now of how different we are from that country.
Honestly,
like, oh,
I'm the opposite. That's where I disagree with you. I'm very
Really?
much like, yeah, because Pakistan and India were once one country, and that was not very long ago. And
Whoa! Wait, so you're okay with somebody considering you Indian?
what?
Are you okay with with somebody considering you Indian?
Well, my dad was born in India.
But
Oh, okay,
But,
all right.
but the thing is, he was raised in Pakistan. He saw himself as Pakistani, right? But
Okay, so then
no,
come
but
on.
Horace, let me speak. Calm down. There is a difference. But if you look, if we're looking at our culture, okay, Pakistani culture, and some of the most beautiful parts of our culture, okay, the rasams, the traditions, these rituals that we hold that aren't Islamic, they come from thousands of years of Indian culture. And we are so interconnected. And that's what separates us from the Middle East. Why we don't connect to them as much as we connect with Indians. Indian Muslims, Indian Hindus, I connect with them way more than I can connect with someone from Oman. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Right.
No, that's
you
true.
can connect more with an Indian Hindu than you can with an Iranian Muslim.
yeah, our cultures are so intertwined. Like our rasams that we do in our weddings, Haris, are not Muslim traditions. They are Hindu traditions. The
Right.
stealing the shoes, the milk, all of that. The wearing red. That's not in Islam. That's a Hindu tradition.
Right.
So
Right, but regardless, I mean, I know it's just like, I'm speaking in terms of just country borders, and I know that's very closed-minded, being that somebody just, I think, maybe 70 years ago drew a line and said, that's that and this is this. But still, I feel as though there are many things that
the religion is what creates the differences, though.
That is
Islamic
right.
tradition creates. That's why they created the borders. The Hindus, the Sikhs, the Muslims, they all wanted to separate.
Right, but I still don't see why, though, like, if somebody says same thing when referring to India and Pakistan, that you're saying that doesn't bother you, right?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's not like I don't correct them. I say, well, no, there's a difference. I mean, people died for there to be a difference.
Yeah.
But I don't get mad at it. Because I'm like, if someone was like, oh, are you from, where are you from? Are you from, Saudi Arabia? And I'm like, no, I'm from Pakistan. They're like, same thing. I'd be like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, okay, same. Okay, yeah, I thought you would just be like, I thought if somebody said same thing, you'd be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, same thing. I'm Muslim, so
yeah, and that's what I was,
Pakistani,
and that's what I was,
Indian.
and that's what I was trying to get at. Like, I didn't mean. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, where it's like, if someone goes, "Oh yeah, you're from India," and you're like, "No, it's Pakistan," and they're like, "Oh, okay," but then that person who goes, "Oh, it's the same thing," it's like, "No, bro, there is a lot of differences." Yeah, we may have a lot of different, same cultures and everything, but there's a reason why we separated, and there's a reason why we have our own, stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not like any hate though. Like
No.
I don't believe in like there's a lot of some people are like Pakistanis can't go into India right now. Like I don't believe that shit. Like we can't get visas into India because our parents are Pakistani.
Yeah, exactly. My mom can't go to India until she surrenders her Pakistani citizenship.
Right. And that is, I think, ridiculous. I'm like, come
Yep.
on.
Yeah.
But I mean, who are we? We are three American kids that are like, this ridiculous.
We're armchair quarterback in this entire geopolitics.
No, but here's the thing though. I do consider myself, and even though I've spent 99% of my life here, I'm sure it's even more than 99%. I want to consider myself more Pakistani than I do American, just in terms of values, because people love to act like Pakistan is so backwards, that the East is it's that notion of the other, the enemy, and all that, and it's they like to beat their women and everything, and it's but I thought it was our Declaration of Independence that says every man is created equal, but the founder of Pakistan said that we won't be a successful nation until men and women are standing side by side.
Yeah. See,
but it's we like to beat our women, sure.
Yeah, and look, every culture, every religion has pitfalls, right?
Of course.
There are things in Pakistan that are happening that are, not good, and I don't support. And there's corruption, and there's faults in our culture, especially with women, not beating women, but innate treating them differently. Even in small ways, like my brother could have, Johnny Discotheque Kashif could have gone out till whatever time he really wanted to, but every daughter had to be home by latest 11:30. And that was pushing it. There's just differences innate that you can't escape from. That it's not like I'm being, it's not like I'm so oppressed. It's not like that. It's just.
I don't know if it's the culture. I feel as though the culture is often influenced by the religion. But what I was saying is that, people in the West love to be people in the East, the Muslims, they like to beat their women. And I don't think the issue has ever been Islam. I think the issue has been Muslim men. And then in Pakistan, when women are treated poorly, it's because, they try to apply imagine what America would be like if it was a theocracy, because it's already run by men. And then if they apply these, Christian values in a government, I don't know if there's anything wrong with Christian values in general. But when you apply it in government, it's going to be super problematic, especially when it's a government run by men. And that's what Pakistan is, but it's, instead of Christianity, it's Islam.
Yeah. No, you make a valid point. I feel like that's a whole other topic that we could literally just delve into.
Yeah.
Because it's really intricate, but there's a lot to it. But I
do like that. I do like how in just Pakistan itself, we always this entire podcast, half this podcast is us, talking shit sometimes about Pakistan or how much they have so many things going on and so many problems going on. But at the end of the day, we love Pakistan as much as we do as America, and for us, it's because we are such a minority in the grand scheme of things, in an American population of 300 plus million people, we are probably 1% of that, 2%, whatever the percentage may be. But we're so minuscule that it's I feel like it is not our duty, but it is our I don't even know what the word would be. Just we should represent who we are. And obviously a lot of Americans or a lot of people, they get this warped idea of Pakistan, a warped idea of the Middle East and, South Asia of oh yeah, well, all these movies make fun of them this way. And it's clearly, you got to separate the movie industry and the movie universe from your reality. There's clearly two differences, and then black people had to go through the same thing where there's listen, we're not all like this, and they're still fighting for it, And I feel like it's just we're going to be next. And we're actually fighting it now. Just a couple of days ago, Haris, just a few days ago, the whole bombing happened, and immediately,
This was yesterday.
Yesterday. Sorry. I thought it was 2 days ago. Yesterday.
It's the same, that's the same subway station I took to get home today from work.
Yeah, I passed that subway station too, this morning. So it's kind of eerie knowing what happened, but just that too, just that happened, and immediately, obviously, all the news and all the comments you read on social media all starts, they all talk about terrorism and it's just another brown person, another terrorist doing this, blah blah blah. It's it's so hard to
Oh,
tell
honestly, the
people.
first thing you think is, "Oh God, I hope they're not. I hope they're not Pakistani. I hope they're
Yeah,
not
and
Muslim. I hope they're not this." And then they are, and you're like, "Oh God,
it's
again."
just like another, yeah, it's just another, like, another punching bag for us, or a punching bag for them to be like, oh yeah, this is you guys. It's like, no, come on, stop, like, please, like, educate yourself. This is not the case. This is just
Yeah.
a
I was
In that
minority.
same sense, though, there is that population of people who are racist that need to educate themselves, but so are these people, that are ISIS sympathizers that also need to educate themselves
Hmm.
because they can go into the wrong, uh, not into the wrong masjids, because I don't think that it's like ever a whole community that's like, yes, the Islamic State is right, but it's like there are such stupid people out there that are getting, I guess.
they're
Um,
getting their information
they're
warped.
getting brainwashed by
Yeah,
like these shady sites through Facebook, honestly,
Yeah.
at times.
I mean, this
Um,
just like, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to say,
yeah,
like,
no,
just
no,
just like the bomber, just like yesterday, this bomber, he was
right,
stupid. He's a dummy because he was never part of ISIS, but he said that he was ISIS inspired, and like
right, exactly.
he was just like, oh, I did this because, and I don't know if you guys read about the reasoning behind why he did it, was because he was walking around the subway station. I don't remember what
It
subway
was the
station.
Christmas ads,
The
right?
Christmas ads. We're just like, why is that someone that's bothering you so much? How did a
there's an
Christmas ad?
internal tension that this guy
Yeah.
has, and there's an internal, and some people. I'm not saying this is what happens with everyone. God, no. This guy was obviously disturbed in other ways, but you know, it polarizes you. You don't know what to do, and it's hard because I was just explaining this to our cousins and the other day. I was saying, look, you guys make fun of us, right? They're from Pakistan. So you make fun of us. You call us American. Oh, we don't get it. We're American. But what you guys don't get is that we don't belong here because we look different and we have a whole culture behind us, right? So we don't belong here. And then on top of it, when we go to Pakistan, we don't belong there. And so we're stuck in this middle and there's a tension constant on us.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do
I
we do?
mean,
How do we
yeah,
act? Some people, very few who are disturbed, they can't take that.
right,
And then there are some people who go the complete opposite and they go, well, I'm going to reject one or the other, you know?
right.
And, some people go the opposite and they're like, I'm white. Don't ask me about my desi. I'm not desi. My parents are. That's what I hear. I'm
Right.
not Pakistani. My
Well, I mean,
parents are. Like,
yeah, what you're talking about, it's what W.E.B. Du Bois always, like, not always talked about, but like that concept of double consciousness, and it was related to Black people, so they experienced this on a much more severe level than I think we do as Pakistani Americans, as Muslim Americans. But it was like, one ever feels as two-ness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two
yeah.
unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body. Um, so it's, and it's like almost contradictory to one another, these two different identities we have, in the sense that, the East feels however they do about the West, and the West is like, the East is evil and they're all like, terrorists. And I guess I wouldn't know how the East perceives the West, really.
I don't know.
I,
Some
I,
people are very appreciative and want to live there, and some people hate the West. So, and not in
yeah,
like I want to cause harm, but
there are very mixed sentiments towards the West in the East, and I
Pakistanis are
feel
the
there's
type that are like, man, you Americans, I hate it. I hate America. But if they got a visa, they'd be over here in a second. Like, it's
The
like
thing
kind
with
of like a bitterness where you're like, oh, I hate them. And then if they could be here, they'd be like, yeah, let's go. Like,
Yeah, no, like, I know that, like, Pakistani people have so much pride of their country, and that's like something that I definitely noticed more so than other countries too. I feel like Pakistani people have so much pride and so much love for their country, and I remember my friend talking to me about this, how like we were talking about the political scene of Pakistan, and like obviously it's in a crap hole, it's in a it's in a weird place right now, and like how eventually, like, my friend honestly believes that, like, Pakistan will have an uprising, and there will be a day where Pakistan will be in the same sentence as America as being one of the best countries to live in. And he's like, it's just that we just need to educate the people. We just need to tell people that, not even just educate the people internally, but also externally that like, I don't even know where I was going to go at this point. It's just like, this is who we are, like this is us. This is Pakistan, Pakistan Zindabad. And like, we're here to, I don't even know. Like, we're here to.
You got wrapped up in the sentiment. I feel you.
Yeah.
There's nationality there. They definitely have a very strong identity, and we don't fit that because we just don't. We're born and raised here. We're not like, we cannot go there and act like there's not a difference, and we cannot be here and act like there's not a difference. I think you can't ignore it. Just
right.
And you need to face it. Face that you're not white. It's okay. You can like what you like, and still you can like white things and not like any of these things, but you're still not white.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, you're brown. You can actually dance. Stop acting like you can't.
Some brown people cannot dance, and I've seen that. But I just think that, I don't know. And I mean, I say this now. High school me did not. I tried to defend it, and it didn't work, and I got bullied. So then I was like, all right, F it. I'm white. But I wasn't white. Because people told me to my face, "You're not white." Like, it.
I went the other route. I think I was like made a caricature of myself by being as a brown kid in high school. I had a YouTube channel, and I would always just like make fun of myself for being brown and have this character that had a huge mustache that spoke in a heavy accent, and everyone loved it. And then I remember my brother, he saw it and he was like, what are you doing? Like, you're just, it's like, it's not like I was like making money or anything, but it was just, he was like, you're being a total sellout right now by, taking the culture and making a caricature of it just so people, like you.
Comfortability. You want to make people comfortable.
Right.
They're uncomfortable by you.
Yeah. And I think making a caricature of it was very white of me to do.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely did, like, and once again, I said this in a previous episode, where it's like, I did the same thing, Aris, where I was just like, yeah, I'll just embrace who I am, but I'll turn it up to 11, Like, if you really think, because I don't know if you heard that episode, but basically I was talking about, like, how, like, in high school, everyone just called me the Muslim. That was my nickname in high school, was the Muslim. Because I was the only Muslim in the high school, the entire high school there. So, like, they would be like, oh, hey, Muslim, how's it going? And I embraced it. And, like, at the time...
Yeah. Wow. If you said that, like, to a Jewish kid, like, hey, Jew, what's up? Like,
yeah. No, it's like, in hindsight, it was awful. And I was like, why did I even do that? But, like... In the moment, I was just like, yeah, I just want these people to like.
Because you made the joke first, right?
I made because like they made the
joke first.
No, it's like it was easier for them to make the joke, and then for me to laugh at that and be like, yeah, no, that's me, haha, yeah, that's me, and I just embraced it.
Yeah, because when you're in high school, you don't want to. We are. I
don't want to get that high school drama.
We're social like noobs. We don't know how to act. Like we just want to avoid anything awkward, and so. To stand up for yourself and be like, no, you're being insensitive, or no, you don't know anything that you're talking about right now. And them being like, that moment, we want to avoid that. And as you get older, you don't give a shit. You're like, yeah, you're wrong. I want you to feel uncomfortable because you made me uncomfortable. Right. I was in college at this party, and this guy is a white dude, and I was hanging out with one of my friends, and I'm like, oh, you like to hang out with a brownie. And
wait, this was recently?
This was in college. This was about my sophomore year in college.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
It was a group of people. It was intimate. Like, he probably thought he could make this joke because we're all...
The police is after us. We gotta stop.
You're like,
no, guys, I just live in Harlem.
No, but he probably felt like it was okay. She will take it as a joke. It's an intimate party. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but he made the joke, and everyone started laughing in the room and looked at me. And I felt so... It was just... You
didn't even know what to say, probably, right?
It just, like, really... my heart sank into my stomach. I felt embarrassed. And then I felt like I was... Honestly, I felt like I was ashamed. Like, I shamed my family because I didn't stand up for myself.
Right.
And be like, that is incorrect. You cannot talk to me like that. You know, I'm a human. And I just let them talk to me and laugh at me. And I mean, my friends stood up for me. And that's when you know you have good friends. I mean,
Right.
you know, my friends were like, that is unacceptable. And they made a huge deal about it. And the guy came up to me and apologized and everything. But I didn't say anything.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, my friend, she's Julie, we talked about her. She's Brazilian. So she's not white either, right?
Yeah.
So she's aggressive in a good way. Like she'll say what she wants to say. So she went off. She's like, why do you think you could say that? Like you white, like she just went off and insulted the shit out of this kid. But I didn't stand up for myself. And this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I couldn't say anything. And I felt like that was like the pinnacle of me trying to be something that I'm not. Because no matter what, I just am not seen like that. I was just at a party and someone had to call it out.
Yeah, that's why I wish I had friends like that to call out somebody else though. Like I don't know, ever had anybody stand up for me like that.
Then they're not good friends, Horace.
Yeah, no, they're not. I just
Oh, I'm sorry. Your friends suck.
No. My friends in high school, my friends in high school were like pretty, including like the brown one was just, they were just either, you know, the brown one was super whitewashed and the white ones were like, you know, very insensitive about my brownness. It's not like they hated it or anything, but they always wanted to joke about it. And it was like, can we make a joke about something else now? Like, you guys don't have any rhythm and look like mayonnaise?
Honestly, like, I can say this, like, my friends now, I don't really have many Desi friends even now. And that's something that I kind of wish I had more of. But it's kind of hard now. I'm out of college and who am I meeting at this point? Maybe that will change in a couple years. You know, life changes. But majority of my friends are white at this point. But the friends I have, though, they really stick up from my Desi side. Like, I'm my best friend, she's white. This girl was like talking about Pakistanis, and I wasn't there. And she's like, yeah, all these Pakistanians, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God, I hate
and
that,
my
the
friend,
Pakistanis.
and this girl who was saying this was black, supposedly. So she's like, all these Pakistanians, blah, blah, blah. And so my friend goes up to her, and she's like, you know, you're kind of being insensitive right now. They're Pakistanis. Or Pakistanis, she said. She's like, they're Pakistanis. You say, I mean, she said it with her white accent. She can't help it.
Right.
Pakistanis, whatever. And it's not Pakistanian. And you know, they don't act like that. Whatever she said. And that girl was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's Pakistanian. And kind of using it like, well, you're white. You don't know what you're talking about. And my friend was like, no. My best friend is Pakistani.
Right.
And I know that you're wrong. And I know you're being insensitive. And I wasn't there. She just did this on her own. Like, she stood up for a person, a people on her own. And I think when you're exposed to people and are forced to reconcile that they're not white, that they, and you know, this is something that's important to them, if you know, they're good people. I mean, good, that's a very blanket term, but you know what I mean? They'll take it upon themselves to also stand up.
Right.
And like that's what it is in the end of the day. It's just that, you know, we're all humans. Like, who cares what we look like and, you know, what type
that's
of skin
idealistic,
color.
Right?
That's idealistic, yeah. It's like, who cares who we are? Like, we're all in it. Like, in the end, like 6 billion years from now, we're all going to be evaporated by the sun, okay? So, come on, chillax, relax.
You watch Doctor Who, that's not true. We'll move forward. We'll move. Human life will continue somewhere else.
It's like we're here for such a finite amount of time. We're only here maximum like 100 years of age. You know, like, if we're gonna round it up, we're here till we're age 100. You know, we have such a finite time. Just live it up. You know, like, who cares of what we are? Like, we're just here to, you know, have fun.
In the sense of to enjoy your culture, whatever that means. Like, our culture has some really beautiful things. Like, truly, our clothes. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
That's a fact.
So
you
much
cannot
colors.
beat our. Oh my God! So many colors, so many sparkles. You can't beat it.
No, you can't. You can't.
Our
You
music,
can't beat it.
Nuri? Go listen to some Nuri, both of you, right now.
Or just listen to Coke Studios. Look up Coke Studios and any of
Hearts,
that.
do you know Coke Studios?
Yeah, that I know.
Okay, thank God. That's the one, like, that's a good product that we have, so...
Yeah.
Like, people in
That
Coke
sounds
Studio
cool.
are natural musicians. They don't use any sort of software. It's just their natural voice, and it's always amazing. You're just like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's talent.
Our food is amazing. Look at people. They're Indian. Like, I'm obvious. You know, not saying that Indian food is exactly like Pakistani food, but look how popular Indian food is. You know, people get that all the time. It's like we got amazing food. It's different. You know, there's
God, the chicken tikka masala.
Yo, you joke, but chicken tikka masala, which is a British
like-
dish,
Yeah,
is so
amazing.
delicious.
Right? No, it absolutely is. And I always
when I
make
go
fun of
out-
white people for always getting chicken tikka masala, but like
It's not-
whenever I go to, there's a place on 28th and Lex today, and I don't know if you know Curry in a Hurry, and I
I've heard
always
of it. Curry and Hurry is a great place.
yeah, and I just always get the chicken tikka
The
masala.
thing is that I say, like, yo, this is white food right here, but you white people did right with this chicken tikka masala because it's so delicious. But, no, yeah, I mean, we just, look, everyone's going to get to it at a certain point. Either they recognize themselves, they can look at themselves as a whole and not in pieces, or they won't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I'm glad that I can start to see myself. I mean, I'm 22. So who knows how much more woke I will be in 5 years or 10 years. Or, you know, same with you, Horace, and same with you. I mean, Zan, you're older. But so, I mean, and I also think it's a different experience for guys than it is for girls. And I think that's a completely different topic too. But I think guys can get away with a lot more than girls can in terms of whiteifying themselves.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, that's true. That is very true. Like you kind of touched upon it too, where you were saying, you know, how you like you just have like there's certain innate like not traditions, but like just things that are different.
There's a stricter eye on a girl in any
yeah.
way. The way we dress, the way we act, the way we talk. There's politics. Oh, that's its own episode. Desi politics is its own episode, but you know, we have to be well versed in all of it, and you know, that's why Desi girls. Maybe that's why Kumail couldn't find one, because they were trying to fit in with these Desi politics around his mom and shit, and he was like, "Ugh, I can't deal with it." Desi,
you know what I
girls.
actually kind of like, and I was meaning to mention this when you were talking about the movie. Have you guys seen Master of None?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, I personally felt like they did a better job with representing brown people a lot more than they did. I don't even know how the movie is. I've never seen the movie, but I feel like it did it so well. And I'm sure you have you seen? I'm sure you saw the episode, Horace, of the when they were dating. Not
the dating app.
dating-
that was great. Like
that was great.
yeah.
There was no like Bollywood tropes. There was no like, oh my god, I saw someone. There was nothing. One of the girls was legit talking about WWE wrestling. She was like, oh, I want to see The Rock versus this, and it's like that's
Oh, that was the Fernan and Shirley. Yeah, she was hilarious.
So that's awesome. It's like, yeah, she wasn't talking about look at me. She like sure she had the accent. She had the accent,
course.
but she was talking.
She was like talking about Mortal Kombat. No, she didn't have an accent, did she?
She maybe a slight accent or whatever, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. The point is like she was talking about Mortal Kombat and you know wrestling.
There was like another girl too who was brown. I think her name was like Priya in the show, and I think that Dev, Aziz Ansari's character, actually, you know, tries to kiss her or something. She's like, no, I'm good. So it's like it kind of like not empowered the brown. I mean, I guess you could say empowered.
She rejected him, basically being like, "You're not."
Yeah,
for
just
me.
like, you know, it's not like she was desperate for anything.
I mean, in the end of that show, though, he's still. I mean, everyone's story is different, right? But he still ends up with the white girl,
White chick,
right?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Maybe we need to see a story where a Desi girl ends up with a white guy. Maybe we need to see a story where a Desi girl ends up with a Desi guy.
Oh, please! So many brown guys are gonna go insane about that.
People be like, wow, yeah, it's so like
What has she done to the culture? She's
Look
ditched.
at
She's
Priyanka
like,
Chopra,
abandoned
Zan.
this.
Stella. She's a Stella.
I don't know. No, Horace doesn't know, but I have this ongoing joke with Amna how I always think Priyanka Chopra is a sellout because of how she went from Bollywood to Hollywood, and she's now successful in Hollywood, and she's going to all these award shows. It's like, wow, you're a sellout.
What are you talking about? She still does Bollywood movies, though, no?
They don't cast her. That's what I try to tell him. Is that because she's so big and because of the male machismo, whatever, in Bollywood, they don't want to cast her because she's the bigger name now over the Bollywood stars. Like, Salman Khan would be second. Like, his name would not be first when next to her name because she's a huge star globally now. And so she's not cast opposite these movies anymore. So she's not producing film in Bollywood.
Right. I mean, like, Irfan Khan's been doing it for a minute where, like, he does both Hollywood and Bollywood and kills it in both.
Who? Salman?
Irfan Khan?
Yeah, but Irfan Khan is not mainstream in Bollywood.
Yeah, no,
and he's not mainstream in Hollywood. He's kind of like on the periphery of both.
I feel as though he's more prevalent in Bollywood, though, for sure. He's not. It's not like he's.
But he's not a hero by any means. He's not like typical Desi hero.
Right. I mean, he's like in those very like thoughtful movies like Lunchbox.
But that's my point. He's not in
no, he's not. You're right. He's not mainstream. He's not mainstream.
He's not like
I just wanted to defend Irfan Khan because I love him.
I like him too, but he's you just made my point.
Yeah. No. He's not a hero by any means.
Yeah. So I mean, Priyanka and Irfan can go do all the movies together, but it's not going to be main blockbuster hits anymore in Bollywood. Mazadar film. Even though I don't really find any Bollywood films that Mazadar anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Except for, have you guys seen Race?
I saw Race. I hated the ending.
What? I felt like that was such a real ending.
No, I hated it. It's Bollywood. I don't watch Bollywood for that.
So good. My brother thinks it's overproduced, which at times it was, but I thought like that was one of the most brilliant Bollywood movies I've ever seen.
See, really? And that's actually... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, Zango. That's all I had to say was, really?
I was just going to say, this Bollywood is, like, and we talked about this before, too, where it's like, I think Bollywood is a perfect example of this entire topic that we're talking about, how Bollywood is now changing so much. And, like, Bollywood used to be a certain form, where it was just, like, they had all these traditional values. Yeah, it was goofy at times, and, they did a lot of stupid, weird, crap. But in the end of the day, they still had values and still had the culture of, India and, look, so I guess Pakistan in a way, in a sense. But, like, they had that culture. And now you see Bollywood, it is as Hollywood as you can get.
It's not Hollywood.
Well,
like
but there are moments where like the goofy times that you talk about are when they try to be like when they try to do something Western, like I don't know, they'll like out of nowhere like have a rap or something, and it's like in English, and it's like this isn't cool. This is goofy. Stop. Meanwhile, like movies like Devdas and like I'm saying, Race are like so good because it just like
they're just not trying to be anything. They're just Desi Bollywood flicks.
It's like, yo, we're Indians and watch this incredible movie.
But then you see, oh sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say like then you see a movie like Race where it's just car or not even Race. So what's the other movie? With all the driving.
That's Race. That's Race.
That is Race.
So for those listening, there's Rice, which is like a name, Raees.
Yep.
I don't know the spelling. Rice, and then there's the movie Race, like I'm racing a car.
Yeah, and then you see that movie, and then you're like, this is just Fast and Furious, You're just like,
it's Fast and Furious with like really weird other side plots. So
yeah.
My mom liked that movie a lot.
Honestly,
actually.
I love Race because it's so bad. It's so bad.
The other movie I was thinking of was Doom 2 and Doom 3 and all that.
That's also good. I like Doom.
The third one I loved just because of Amir Khan.
I heard that was bad though, Doom 3.
Oh, it was so bad. But Amir Khan is brilliant. Like like anything you put him in, he can't be bad.
Three Idiots, man, just proves it. Or That Is a Mean Bar. That movie makes me cry every time.
Yeah, I just watched it over Thanksgiving break at my sister's in Dallas, and like, I don't know if they know, but I was crying.
That Is a Mean Bar?
Yeah,
oh my
so
God.
hard. I think I went to bed. I was tearing up, and then I went to bed, and I think I like I think I let out like
You
one
cried.
singular sob. I just let out one singular sob, and I was like, I gotta hold it back. I gotta hold it back.
For those who don't know, that doesn't mean means like stars on Earth, and it's about like a
Right.
kid who has dyslexia. But in India, they don't really recognize learning disorders that much, and so they just think he's dumb or he's not trying, and he gets like sent away from his mom, and he's so little and so cute, and he just sees the world so differently. And Amar Khan
I
comes in, and of
That kid
course.
is like 20 now, and he does awful movies.
Oh really? No, he's not
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, he's 20 now.
Don't
That
you
movie came out
dare
10 years
say
ago.
that. No.
Yeah, 2007.
No.
Math, numbers.
no, no.
I mean, he
I'm gonna look
wasn't a
this guy
very like he was cute, but you knew he wasn't going to grow up to be like a hunk.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not. I mean, he just does bad movies now. That's all.
Well,
He is 20. Yeah, no, Horace is right. He is exactly 20.
I can't. Kills me. But okay, fine. Point is though, I don't know why we talked about that as a mean part or Bollywood. Oh, it's identity. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I think the new Desi movies of the younger actors, Bollywood movies, are just trying to like show like, oh, we're so modernized. We're not like, and to a point, I see that, right? We can't like always look at India and Pakistan and be like, oh, like they aren't modernized and they still are, in the gaon or in the villages or this, that. Like, if you go to the cities, like they're pretty westernized and they're not. But it's like different. You can be westernized and still be desi. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
It's like I mean, like, just me going to Pakistan just this past February, like, it's a modern, like, Pakistan probably knows more about tech than America does, like they're
For sure.
like, they are smart people. They are so modern. They're so modern there.
There's a kid in some gaon that like knows just as much as all the guys in Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's just like you see that, and then
I genuinely do believe that there's some sort of chromosome or some gene that like for some reason if we want to be, are just so technologically inclined.
I'll go research that, the biological evolution to make us better at tech.
I think actually it's really anything. I really do think that there's something about South Asians and Muslims and just brown people in general that just like for some reason if we want to do something we just make it happen. And I think that just is more of our values where it's like we have a very do or die ideology.
Yeah. No.
Like my siblings, I'm like sometimes I think about my siblings for more than like 30 seconds. I'm like, how did they do it? And like then I think about my parents. I'm like, wait, how did they do it?
Oh my god, I don't even like thinking about it.
Then I think about me and I'm like, wow, why am I not doing it?
Honestly, it puts us to shame. Like, I always think about like desis, like who, if if you say, oh, I want to become a doctor, right? Every desi goes, oh, you're like every other desi, and I want to be like, you know what? I'm sorry that I am not, free spirited and like, maybe I am working really hard and fitting a stereotype, but like our parents worked their ass off, and I'm not gonna like use it and not do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people would ever be obnoxious about you about being like every other desi.
Oh,
it's funny.
you would be surprised,
no matter
Horace,
what career. That's so ridiculous. It's like if I say I'm going into film, then they're like, "Oh, why not a doctor or something?"
Well, that's like because no, this is not white people. It's desi saying it to me. Like, oh,
right. No. I've had desis say to me too, like,
young
dude,
desis?
like, what about your parents? Yeah, of course.
See, but then
Even the liberal ones, like, who are still going to school to become, like, they still go to school to become doctors or engineers or something. And if I say film, they're like, wow, you're way off, dude.
Yeah, no. Or finance is a big one too.
Yeah,
finance.
true.
But like, no. I get the opposite. Like, oh, good desi girl. Like, oh, you want to go into, oh, you're in the sciences. Oh, you're such a good desi girl. Like, following your parents. And I'm like, no, I wanted to do this because I wanted to. If I wanted to go into playwright, my dad would have been cool with it. But, it's, I don't know. It's like, I think it's, again, insecurities of people who attribute, like, I don't know, they have to make a comment every time. I'm not even kidding. Every time I say, oh, I'm pursuing this or that, they go, oh, fitting into that stereotype I see. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am, but like, go F yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was me.
No. It's all good. I feel that.
But then you got the opposite. Like, you're going journalism, and so then they're like, oh, you're not following that. And that pissed me off, too. Like, nah, I'm not. Yeah. Why do you got to make any comment? Just be like, cool. Good for you.
That's why, like, I don't ever talk about career or anything, especially at this age, like 20, and we're all, like, in college or very recently out of college. It's just like everyone wants to know about your career and everything, what you're doing with your life, and I'm like, ugh.
That's a whole different topic.
This is just life, Taurus.
Yeah, that's not even a Pakistani thing, man. I'm not about to do this.
Like, you need to, like, this is a different topic. Poor Horace. You're so young. You're like...
Episode 23.
Are you going to become a regular?
Yeah. I mean, that would be okay.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Listen, we're going to be missing a certain member soon.
That is true.
She's gone tonight.
Oh, who?
She's gone tonight. She's gonna,
she's gonna be taking leave in a couple of months. She's taking vacation.
And then Maz and Qasim are just like, I don't even know where they are at this point.
So. They should be back next week since their finals are over.
Yeah, they should be. But even though they're gonna be here, they're probably not gonna do the podcast anyway. So.
Well, we kicked them out, so it's fine.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be completely fine with Horace being the next person. He can be a regular guest for us.
Horace has a life. It's okay, Horace. You're like,
where did you get that from?
I assumed. I'm sorry. Never assume. It makes an ass out of you.
Did you just assume my social life?
All right, calm down.
That's a little insensitive.
How dare you? First of all, how dare you? Wait, what's the line from The Office, Dan? Oh, this is a way to end
I have a question. First of all, how dare you?
Is it first of all, or
I think,
or is it first? I don't know, but I love that line so much. It's like, I have a question. First of all, how dare you? I say it all the time. Now my nephews say it because I say it. They're like, how dare you? And I'm like, what have I done?
Hell yeah.
What have I done? Speaking of nephews, soon I'm going to have a niece.
Woo!
Thanks, Johnny Discotheque. Currently in the hospital right now. Waiting. Yeah. He was supposed to be a guest on tonight's show, but then I remembered that he was going to be
a little preoccupied
this weekend and right now as we speak. So all good wishes and all your duas and prayers.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
You send the duas out in bulk.
Yeah. Tweet out your duas to at Fob Friends. Hashtag dua for whoever, whatever the girl's name is going to be.
one like equals one dua.
Yeah, one like for one dua.
Every retweet.
Every retweet, we'll send that many duas.
For every retweet, we'll give $1 to zakat.
Did you like, to quickly close up, I guess, like, did you hear about how that one girl did that thing where she tweeted out something? No, she tweeted out something being like, hey, for every retweet I'll donate the X amount of dollars for.
Oh, and she got like 100 something.
She had like 100 something thousand. She backed down. She's like, I can't do that.
She tried to start a GoFundMe and people got mad at her.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't blame her. She didn't expect that.
That's why you don't make retweet promises.
I hate that so much.
Do you?
I think it initially started off as as a method to go viral, and it's like, if you give me this many retweets, I'll either ask this girl out to prom, or no, it was like, how many retweets to go to prom with me, and it'd be like 100,000. It'd be like, you got it.
Or what's the famous one with with Wendy's?
The finals?
No, with Wendy's. The Wendy's one where he's like, oh, for how many retweets for free chicken nuggets for life? And Wendy's responded back saying 10 million, and he never got 10 million retweets. He got close to close. He got 3 million or something.
I thought it started with Facebook, where it was like, if I get a certain amount of likes on this page, I'll name my kid Batman or whatever BS. Like.
Yeah,
that's another topic I want to bring up on a different episode where it's just social media. Thank God.
We have to do that episode, yeah.
Which is why I've proudly and happily have deleted all social media off my phone, and I can think again.
You did?
You can actually be yourself?
Yeah, I can. I just have like a thought process nowadays.
You actually have an opinion?
Yeah, like I'm a person again.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I have gone very social media clean. The only thing I had was really Facebook, and that was like to use Messenger with certain people. Right. But then I was bad again, and then I downloaded stuff again because I was like, I should just maybe interact some more because I was isolating myself a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to need to take up social media again to promote this episode.
You also live in the city, so you're not like by yourself in Boondocks, Connecticut, like me.
Yeah, true.
Where I'm like,
I think that's what made it so overwhelming.
Yeah, you just know too many people and are surrounded by like a hub. Where it's like me, I like live across a farm, like for real. So, not even lying. So,
yeah,
you know, sometimes you just need to connect.
Yeah, that's why it's easy for me and Haris. We can literally just walk down the street to like the local like coffee shop or the pizza shop, and then just talk to someone.
Yeah, there's a bodega downstairs. These two Yemeni guys run it.
There you go.
Are you guys not
and
fat?
Like I live literally like right above it, and they're my best friends.
They're your best friends. Aww.
And none of us know each other's names. Like even the two guys working it, they don't know each other's name.
That's when you know you're best friends. So you don't. Doesn't even matter what the name. It's just that you just know you.
You just know your deepest, darkest personal secret. Haris is like, yeah.
And
no, they totally do. I like go to those guys and vent about so many things.
They're probably like, who is this idiot kid?
No way. They totally like. They give me like free drinks all the time too, non-alcoholic drinks because I feel like my mom's listening to this. Like it's just straight up like Snapple.
Not listening to this. She does not care about your.
Oh no! I'm gonna tell her that I was on a podcast with you guys, and she's gonna listen to it. She's gonna share it.
That's so sweet because my mom would not.
Yeah, my mom is gonna.
I was like, Mom, I'm doing a podcast with Haris. She's like, oh, okay.
Okay, well, Haris, tell your mom, right, to tweet at us at Fob and Friends, right?
No. She's gonna get a Twitter, and then I'm gonna have to like
us on Instagram at Fob and Friends.
Yeah, tell her to like us on Instagram
or follow us on Facebook at Fob and Friends.
That's not gonna happen either.
Or email us at
I'll have her email you. Her email is I have 4 kids at AOL.com.
I love it. That's the greatest.
Yeah.
All right, Haris, thank you so much for being on this episode. It's a long one, so I'm glad that you stuck it through with us.
No, it was very fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. No, do you want to plug anything? Do you have anything you want to plug? Well, you said you don't have social media.
I have.
So I guess
I do have a plug. Yeah. I have an iPhone charger, and
oh my god,
it charges my iPhone. That was my plug.
No, you cannot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? You know how I said that you can come in other episodes? Yeah. We're gonna rescind
revoked.
We're gonna revoke that.
Fired. Majority membership here. I fired you before you were hired. Alrighty, I'm gonna.
All right.
Gonna head out.
See you later. Peace out. Thank you, Haris. Peace out.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.